I'm not saying you should go and join a group study of 10 or don't go and join a group study of 15 or 20 that they'll be studying and it will just turn into a whole discussion group or play group instead of an actual study group. Join an intentional group. Probably a group of 4 or 5 is not bad, and join group with intentional people that actually know what they're doing, and people that are better than you. Do not join people that you are better than. Join people that are actually better than you, so that you can also learn from them and they will also learn from you. Understand it, to know where each part is coming from, to know how they are connected. You will tend to not easily forget that thing you've learned. But when you learn, just like maybe you are given a note in class and you just read it and understand it. You're not even understanding it, you're just reading it to know what is on that note. You're not reading beyond what is in your notes. It's like cramming. Just like understanding why we need to take water, or understanding why your name is your name in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Franco Easy. I'm a first year nursing student, a graphic designer. I'm also a content creator, which is obviously why you are seeing this video. So what I basically do is make content, make videos about nursing related videos, motivating others through what I do, sharing my knowledge, just documenting my life basically as a student nurse. And I hope to also share what I know, just growing together basically. So I would like you to join me on this journey of growth and just catching fun in the midst as well. So today I'm going to be talking about some tips for student nurses, the ones that are aspiring, the ones that are waiting for admission into either a college of nursing or a university, and it's also for first year nursing students like myself. So if that is what you're looking for, or if this is a video, if this sounds like what is going to be of interest to you, please stay back. Do not skip this video. Just stay back, get a snack, a popcorn or a drink, and let's dive into this together. So what I'm going to be sharing today is I'm sharing this from my experience, what I've experienced that works for me and what also works for other persons that I've seen. So not everything I'm going to share here is going to work for you, but I believe that by the end of this video you'll find at least 60 or 50% of what is going to work for me from what I'm going to say. So just listen with an open mind. So one of the first tips I'm going to be sharing for aspiring nursing students or students that are already in nursing school, especially the first year nursing students, is to study on time. Like, start studying on time. This is something that most students underrate a lot. They don't tend to study on time. They heap up their workload, they heap it up, and when it's like 2 weeks to exam or 1 week to exam, that's when they start studying. Some persons it works for them. Some persons study a week to exam or 2 weeks to exam and they pass their exams. Well, I believe that what they are basically doing is cramming and just to cram and pass the exam. So, and it's a lot of work. It's very, very stressful to read a week or 2 weeks to exam. It's a lot of work because you just find it very intense on you, and it's really going to cause a lot of burnout for you. So it's very, very good to start studying on time if you are especially in nursing school, because nursing tends to be very bulky in the way they teach, their study, their workload is very bulky. There are a lot of things to study. Like, studying does not end. You see things to read here, you see things to read there. Like, there are so much things to study. So it's very important and very necessary, if you love yourself, that you start studying on time. Study on time. Create out what works for you and start studying them on time. Do not heap it up. Even if it's 2 hours a day of study, that's a long way. It is going to go a long way for you. So my advice to you today is to start studying on time. And for those that are waiting for admission, I would not want you to get your admission before you start studying. If you are a student, listen to me, you're a student, an aspiring nursing student, and you're waiting for admission, don't wait until you get into the school before you start studying. Make your research. Ask about the modern founder of nursing, the mother of nursing. Just make your research. read foundation of nursing related textbook, or go online. Our phone today is a huge benefit to us. Go online and make your research, study, ask questions, just study whatever you can lay your hand on or whatever you can find. Just be ready, you understand, so that when you get there, most of the things are not going to be new to you. You're already creating an open mind inside of you that you are ready to absorb whatever they are going to be teaching you. So start studying on time, make your research, learn. Don't wait for somebody to teach you before you start learning. UNF and not CPF. Do the UNF and not the CPF. So UNF is understand and never forget, and CPF is cram, pass and forget. So one thing I've noticed personally is that when you study to understand, like you study the basis of something, the foundation, which is called, like, I don't know what other people call it, or I call it foundational learning. When you learn something at the foundational level, you are learning to understand it, to know where each part is coming from, to know how they are connected. You will tend to not easily forget that thing you've learned. But when you learn, just like maybe you are given a note in class and you just read it and understand it. You're not even understanding it, you're just reading it to know what is on that note. You're not reading beyond what is in your notes. It's like cramming, because you just know what is in that note there. You don't know how that thing came about. You don't know how it is connected to what you are doing or connected to other things. So it's good to do foundational study. Study from the foundational level. Know how this thing came about. Know how it is connected to some other thing, and know how it is connected to what you are currently studying. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. Do foundational reading. Don't cram, pass and forget. Understand and never forget. Know how something came about. Understand why it is existing even in the first place. Just like understanding why we need to take water, or understanding why your name is your name in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? Just study at the foundational level. Try to know how something came about. Don't just study your notes. Read what is in your notes and leave it there. That's not how nursing students study. Because trust me, whatever you are studying in nursing, whatever you are studying in nursing in your first year, in your second year, you are going to meet them later. And this course you are doing is basically to save lives. So imagine you trying to cram and pass. When a real patient is presented to you, are you going to use what you've crammed to save the patient? You might not even recall. You find yourself, thinking of what to do. So it's better to understand things. Whatever you want to study, understand it at the foundational level. That way you're not going, even if you forget it, even if a little leaves your brain, the moment you go back to checking your notes, or the moment you go back to checking it, trust me, it's going to be hard for you to forget what you've read. So try to learn things at the foundational level, and then try applying it to real life scenarios as well. So I give it to you today that you should do away with cram, pass, forget, and stick with understand and never forget. So the next tips I have for nursing students is that your procedure manual should be your constant companion. This thing I just learned it, or I just took note of it of recent. Our procedure manual, our procedure book. The thing is that I'm not excluded. I don't know about other people, but I just realized this recently that we don't give much attention, or we don't give a lot of attention to our procedure manual like the way we give attention to our other nursing courses like anatomy, physiology and all the rest. We keep our procedure manual till maybe when it's doing practical or when it's close to our OSCE. That's when we'll go for it. But I just realized that our procedure manual is supposed to be our constant companion. Like, it should be something that you always go to, always reading. Just read it like a storybook. If that's how I'll put it for you to understand. Read it like a storybook. Always read what is there. Read the procedures. Read the requirements. You understand? Just always go through it, because I've noticed that we don't go through our procedure manual. So when we are asked to, explain a particular procedure or carry out a particular procedure, we'll find ourselves stuttering or stumbling on what we are asked to do, because we don't always check our procedure manual. We always keep it until it's time for OSCE or it's time for practical. So I am sharing this to you today that you should take your procedure manual as your constant companion. So the next tip I have is time management. It must not be perfect, okay, but managing your time, or knowing how to manage your time in nursing school is really, really important, because nursing school is very demanding, like really, really demanding. It takes a lot from you. It takes your time, it takes your attention, your focus, it takes your all. That's if you want to really come out in flying colors and you really want to know your onions. It takes a lot from you. So knowing how to manage your time, knowing how to do the things that you always do at the right time and when not to do them is really, really important. You should know when you know that you need to sleep, you need to study, you need to, just let the book be and do something that is outside book so your brain can refresh. Just learn how to manage your time. Know when to do things and when not to do them, because if you don't have time management, like you don't know how to manage time in nursing school, trust me, you're going to be floating like this. Yes, you're going to be floating. You don't know where you will be. So be intentional. Be intentional about time. Okay. Then the next tip I have is know what works for you. All of these things I've said, I don't know, but just know what works for you. What I mean is that, for instance, there are some persons that they study and write, while some of them study and talk to themselves. So just know what works for you. Just because your friend is studying quietly and not talking to herself does not mean that you are going to say, okay, let me study and not talk to myself. Do what works for you. If studying and writing, studying a paragraph or a whole page and then writing out a summary of what you've studied in that paragraph or in that page works for you, do that. Then if studying and then after studying you go on YouTube and watch a particular video of that thing you've studied works for you, keep up with that as well. And then if group study also works for you, that's fine. So just know what works for you. If studying early in the morning works for you, keep up with that. If studying at night works for you, keep up with that. If studying immediately after classes works for you, keep up with that as well. And there are some persons that that there are different ways people learn. Some persons, when the lecturer is lecturing, that's when everything the lecturer says gets into them. But there are some persons that even when the lecturer is lecturing, they don't tend to get everything that the lecturer says until they go back home and do a recap of what the lecturer said, or studied again on their own before they will understand it. So just find out what works for you and stick to it, okay? Because we individuals, we are different and we have different things that works for us. And another tip I have for nursing students again is joining a group study. Personally, I'm not a fan of group study. I've never been a fan of group study even before I came to nursing school. But when I came, I understood the importance of group studying. I'm not saying you should rely wholly on group study, but it should be something that you are doing most times. So it's important because there are some things that you will read on your own that you would not understand, but in a group study, when your friend or your classmates are explaining those things to you, or even you yourself, if you explain it to them in a group study, you might not forget that thing again. It will sink more than when you study it on your own or when you watch a video. You understand what I'm trying to say? So group study can also help. So try to join a group study and then the last thing I have to say is the God factor. Don't leave out that God factor, okay? Because I've experienced it. I'm not going to say it. I've experienced it in a scenario where I studied for a test. I studied really hard for this test. I understood what I was doing, and then when I went into the hall to take the test, I basically went blank. I went blank. Not like I did not know what I was doing, but I forgot what I was doing. I became confused to the extent that I did not even know what to write. To the extent that even the things that I knew as the right answer, I went and marked the wrong answer. So it's possible, it could happen. All you need is not studying. After studying, you also need God. You also need the Holy Spirit. So don't leave that God factor aside. Always include Him before your studying, after your study, and within your study. Just include Him, include the Holy Spirit, because you need Him. You might study today and you go to take an exam or a test and you just become confused. Even the things you know, it seems like you don't know them. You understand what I'm trying to say? So include that God factor. Ask Him to give you wisdom, to give you retentive memory, to be with you and take away confusion. Say it the way you want it. He's listening to you and He's going to give it to you just the way you are asking Him. I hope that this video was helpful to you. Just like, what am I saying? I hope that this video was helpful to you. So if this video was helpful to you, please subscribe, okay? That's the way you can say thank you. And comment if you can relate, understand, especially the one that you went blank in an exam hall, or if there's any other tip you have for your nursing student colleagues out there. Drop it as well in the comment section, and just say thank you by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video. Bye.